The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That's fielded in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm here all day.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Defense wins championships, baby.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Watson. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing on 2nd down, Rosen. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. And that is incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Second and 10. It's Rosen again. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. 20. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A huge play there for Denver. 55 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. On play action, Rosen. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field. Have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Everyone, 37's the mic. Mike 37. Got one. Everyone, 37's the mic. You draw quarter. Check.
Out of the gun, it's Booker. It's Jaleel Adai who brings him down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this one is right down the middle. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed him to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. And let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Cut.
Back to throw, Watson. And this one grabbed by Darren Fells. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Set. Like an egg. Double time. 3 down.
Watson on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
Well, every now and then you just absolutely outguess yourself. 3rd and inches, and they decide not to run the ball. You end up seeing the end result.
The end result was not good. They elect to pass, and it backfires. Taking it about the 16. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Around the NFL, an update from a game going on down in Tampa. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now it's Rosen. And that's complete to Sanders. 18 big yards on that one and a Denver first. The 6th season in Denver now for Emmanuel Sanders after those 4 years in Pittsburgh. And you may recall Sanders tore his Achilles December 5th last year in practice. But before the injury, he was on his way to another 1,000-yard season. Would have been his 4th in his first 5 years in a Bronco uniform. And now at 32 years of age as he tries to return to full speed. On 2nd and 11 now. Rosen. This is the tight end Fant. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 40.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Rosen now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody covered. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Now, pass complete here to Sanders. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Here's Freeman. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Check 15. Middle.
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Cameron Meredith with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead grows to 10-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Brought down back at the 36-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Room to run past midfield. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 45-yard line.
That's another Texans first down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, it's Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
You ain't doing nothing today.
3rd and long, it's Watson. Man open, that's Robert Foster complete. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Houston. Robert Foster, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half. But out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Rosen now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. They go play action. It's Rosen escaping the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Booker on first down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rosen completes this one to Meredith. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 27-yard line. Rosen now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Here's Rosen to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Rosen now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Freeman. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They toss to Freeman. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about.
Touchdown. You got juice, son. He took you to school.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Noah Fant, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. McManus's point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
The Texans take over at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Houston. Dallas Goedert, his 4th touchdown on the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Let's go, let's go.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And now it's Rosen looking. He'll have a 1st down past the 40, and he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
1st down, Denver.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Freeman. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That's a 39-yard line.
On 2nd and 12, Rosen. His throw incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. But now it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Cameron Meredith. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go one more. Let's go.
Now Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
I'm scared. 49, check 49, check 49. Monday. Back 41. We've got to wedge that, huh? Let's get it.
Now Rosen on 1st down. Flushed out right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Here's Watson to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
On 1st down, it's Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's on the 1st-round pick, number 23 overall, Titus Howard. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Let's go, defense.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's got his man on the out route. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a 1st down if not for that penalty moments ago. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They built a good 1st-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On 1st down, it's Freeman. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. DJ Reader there on the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd and 7, Rosen. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 35. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. Rosen now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. This is Freeman, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, then no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now they'll try the jet sweep here. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ronald Blair in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Houston. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now Rosen. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The strong safety, Jaleel Adai, right there in coverage.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
On 3rd down, it's Freeman. And he'll have the 1st down as he's up to about the 18. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Rosen on 1st and 10. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And this will be a touchdown. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead will shrink to 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Rosen. This is caught by Hearns. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Here's Rosen. Forced out to his left. This is the tight end Fant. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
Now this throw caught left side, and he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver 1st down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 45-yard line. A 1st down run not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. And it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 2nd and 9, Rosen gets it to Meredith complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 27-yard line. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. From the red zone now, here's Rosen on 1st down. Caught, it's Wilson. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. To throw is Rosen. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Noah Fant, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Broncos push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too, each and every play.
And this is going to be intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
Rosen will throw. Dancing to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Texans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Wolfe in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him. And all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
In 2018, Deshaun Watson had 5 fourth-quarter comebacks. Only Drew Brees of the Saints had more with 6. Here's Watson. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And he's going to have the connection to Foster. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, here's Watson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
From the red zone now, Watson. And it's caught. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Raheem Mostert, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Kill. Turn it up.
They'll run on first down. Freeman, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Broncos on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. You think back to 2018, many people thought it would be Royce Freeman taking over as the lead back in Denver. Spent a 3rd-round pick on him, but it was Phillip Lindsay who would be in the catbird seat as the #1 running back. But still for Freeman, not a bad rookie campaign, 521 yards and 5 touchdowns as the backup. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 18 big yards on that one and a Denver first. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Covers that time by Aaron Colvin.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd and 15 now. Rosen. Hearns brings it in. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
It's a gain of 8, and it brings up 3rd down.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 7.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking.
Rosen to throw again. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the 2nd half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A huge play there for Houston. 44 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 25-yard line. To throw is Watson. Buying time to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Here's Watson, option left, and they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Crunch time, defense.
Now Mostert. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Darren Fells, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans have taken the lead.
There it is, partner. You see it. 4 fingers. What does that mean?
4 fingers. That signifies the fourth quarter's here.
That's right. Who's going to dominate? Usually both teams are holding them up. We own the fourth quarter, what we found out so far. 2 touchdowns here, and now they've taken the lead.
Yeah, second one putting them in front. You know what I see on the other sideline, though? It seems like they've tensed up, had that lead. They were playing not to lose it, and they've lost it.
That's a great observation. When you play not to lose, you usually don't win.
Now, though, they'll have the opportunity to respond.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Now it's Rosen. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. J.J. Watt in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
Now a desperation throw deep. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
2nd and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Let him know, let him know.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 29-yard line.
Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the 4th quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it. And let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the 4th quarter. But a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the 4th quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right, that reserve tank. They hauled it out. Offense scored some points, defense held them, and lo and behold,